Slot has done, he has kept things simple. Liverpool were not bad last season. They were in the title race till April, about 5, 6 games before they fell off. So it's not like Klopp had, left a bad squad. And honestly, they still have who I believe is the best defender in the league. Konate is improving steadily, and they have one of the best forwards ever in the Premier League as well. So once you keep things simple and you have that platform, for instance, you're going to fly.
If you play in a club team, everybody says intensity, intensity, intensity. Now, what Slot is doing is mostly slowing down the game to suit himself. For example, games are balanced at 0-0. You might still see that element of chaos or whatnot. If Liverpool go in front, it's out of the game. They control the game. They slow everything down because they know that they have real game changers in their squad. So there's no reason to be going back and forth with anybody. When you know you're really better than the person, just control the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have a public service announcement. I want you to look to your neighbor, and tell your neighbor, international break is over till March 2025. Tell your neighbor, somebody shout hallelujah! You're welcome again. It's another Saturday at it's TSL and Pop Central. We get to talk about the happening things that have happened in the past couple of weeks, where we avoid the sides and we pop centrally to discuss on the interesting talking points. And as always, I have my usual suspects with me. I have Amos and Osamu Diame on my flanks. Nife, how you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm great. It's always a pleasure to be here at Talk Sports. The plenty things have happened, plus the relevant things, plus the irrelevant things. It's international break. We get a lot of fillers. So yeah, looking forward to league football, proper football as I call it.
Talking about relevant things, somebody asked you that after seeing you in your trident cap, you inspired my outfit today, by the way, and they asked you, are you really a banker? So I want to give you a chance to answer that on the show here.
Well, this is Saturday morning. If you want to find out, call me Monday to Friday between 8 and 5, and you see what I look like.
Really, like they said. On my right, we've not had him in the studio for a bit. He's Osamu Diame. Teams straight from UK. Where did you travel to last week? Where have you been?
I've been around. I've been looking for money for the show, right? Trying to make some money for the show. Yes, I'll bring something to the table. But it's Ruben Amorim season.
It is.
I'm here.
It
live.
is.
I'm already there.
It is. Ruben Amorim will be the 6th permanent manager since Alex Ferguson left, and Manchester United will be hoping that this is the right man. I saved the best introduction for last because I'm really shocked that this man hasn't actually been on the show since he started. It's Ayobola Ashokmo. Ayobola, how you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing great. It's nice to be here for the first time. It's great timing, to be honest. We have a long run till March. Between now and March, I think there are about 90 games.
So some people says there are only 2 days. Between now and Christmas that don't have Premier League, Champions League, Europa, Carabao. There's football every day till Christmas minus 2 days.
Now that I'm here, we can just get everything running.
I'm going to start with you, and I know you're an engineer here. Just give us a little bit how you mix that with the love for football, because I also know you have an amazing knowledge for football.
Okay. Most of us when we're young, those of us that were young, we grew up with spirit.
Those of us that were young. Some people why are you subbing? Why are you subbing Ife or two?
Some people are born
have you ever heard any Ife or two as a baby? No, like.
I don't die. Which guy
those of us that when we were young, we grew up with football-loving parents. We grew up in a football-loving country, so all you need to do is look outside. In your close environment, you have people playing ball, you have a Madrid center, left-right center. So you just go in there, and then as soon as you start watching, you just get the love. Your brother is watching, your friends are watching, something to talk about first thing in Monday in school. So no matter how busy you are, no matter how interested in your career you are, really, you can't be 247 chasing money like this man.
Really,
maybe was chasing goal of Chelsea. Chelsea.
Maybe, just maybe.
Can't watch Chelsea.
Thank you so much, Ayobola. We have a lot to discuss about today, ranging from what happened in international break and football is back, like they've all said. And Ayobola, I just one more question before we go straight into it, because I've asked this too. I know their thoughts about it. Why do you think international break is boring? Why? Like, it's still football now. It's like. How would you say Gyokores scored 4 goals again? He scored goals for Europe. He goes to the Nation League again. So why do you think international break is boring?
Okay, so personally, I think most of us have grown an emotional connection to our club sides. For me now, I mean, most of us started up with the Super Eagles, but after a while, the banter just became about the club side. So we are more attached really to our club sides. I'm an Arsenal fan, a Chelsea fan, a Manchester United fans. Besides, I mean, right here in the studio. So when you do not have those club sides playing, no matter how much you think it's football that you're watching at international level, it doesn't give you the same emotional feel.
There's no
that you
competition.
feel
We're
with
all
the club.
one when it comes to so there's nothing fun about that.
I mean, 2 weeks ago, Arsenal Chelsea were playing. I couldn't sit down beside the Chelsea fan because we were going to throw blows and all. But, I mean, over the past 2 weeks, you have Super Eagles played 2 really dreary games. But the same players who played dreary games for Super Eagles were at their club sides. I mean, Osimhen, Boniface, they were doing well for those clubs. And we grew, I mean, because we watched that segment of football every three days. So we grew a more connected emotional attachment to that level than for internationals. For me, there's no international game to match. Nobody cares anymore, really.
All right, well said. And thank you for bringing Super Eagles, because that's the first topic. Because Super Eagles just makes a way to make you just wonder, are we going to qualify or are we not going to qualify? We've qualified for the African Cup of Nations, but the World Cup, we seem to be hanging by a thread. We're yet to win a game in the World Cup qualifiers. And if I don't, brilliant analysis on David Cook, by the way. I need to give you that. Your video on social media has been making the rounds. Yeah, you get. But let's start with Nigeria here. And what's the issue? Like, looking at that group, we should be blowing those countries out of the park. I know AFCON football is different, but we should be blowing teams out of the park.
Yeah, I definitely think we should be blowing teams out of the park. If we are going to have challenges against certain teams, it shouldn't be the type of teams that we've had problems against. We've played 4 games, we've drawn 3, and we've lost 1. Like I always say with football, if you have tools and you don't know how to use them properly, then your problem is half solved. In the sense that if you have good players and you don't have a proper manager and all of that, you just have to get a new person. What we are seeing is consequences of failing to plan, right? Going into the qualifiers straight from the AFCON final, we're supposed to get a new coach. We're supposed to do ground shaking business because the manager had left. But we just, you know what? Let's just give it to this next person. Let's just give it to the next person. And now we're a couple of points behind. But I don't think it's unsalvageable. Let me put it that way, because like I said, we have good players, very good players, at least at club level. So it's a way to find a way to incorporate all of them to get the best results at international level. And we need a good coach for that. We still don't have a permanent coach. We have Guardiola. Go ahead. And to be fair on him, yeah, if you look at spirit in the camp and all of that, this is probably the best it has been. This is probably the best time to play for Super Eagles in the sense that 2-3 years ago, everybody was running away from playing. Okay, not 2-3 years, maybe before the Iwobi sets. Yeah, people were reluctant to play for Super Eagles. We had to be begging this, begging that, and all of that. But that influx of the innate boys, I know Iwobi. Now there's even Gabriel Osho and co. Right? So it's cool to play for Nigeria now. Someone like Lookman that even represented England at under 21 level, easy peasy. Highly favored to win the African Best Player of the Year and all of that. So I feel like we have to get a coach first, and we have to set realistic targets for the coach, in the sense that AFCON is, I mean, we played 2 games, we drew 1 and we lost 1 point in 6 games. Super Eagles of Nigeria against Benin and Rwanda. Not good enough. But then again, the objective was to qualify, and we've qualified. That's for the AFCON. Now, we have a couple of games before the main tournament itself, and those games are going to be highly competitive games. We can't afford to lose further ground. That's why the most important thing is they've done the backroom reshuffling, Nigerian sports chairman, etc. First objective is to go and get a coach. Now, I don't know why we always get, without sounding disrespectful, we get grade E, grade F European coaches, right? I feel like we should get somebody that knows exactly what to do. We have grade A European players now, so we don't have to manage. You have Osimhen, you have Boniface, you have Lookman, you have Aino, you have Franco Yeka, you have Rafael Oyedika, even Wilfred Ndidi we have a good squad on paper in terms of playing for big teams now. Yeah. Even the guy that wasn't called Chidera Juke at Sevilla and all of that. So if you have those type of players, you should get a manager that befits those players. I think that's the best way we get something from
Brilliantly said, Fedoton. Timmy, let's open your book for today. And do you agree with him that is that lack of permanency in terms of the managerial position that's causing this issue for the Super Eagles?
So I think it's like it's a contributory problem, to be honest. Apart from what Fedoton said, the lack of permanence or being consistent or focus, basically, maybe with the direction or leadership and everything. I also think there's a bit of mindset came to it. Do you understand? I don't know. I just feel like since the whole Osimhen Finidi thing, there's just been this disconnection, basically. Maybe that's from my side. There's been this disconnection from just in the camp. But I just think if you want to play for Nigeria, right, we see how these guys, like Ferdinand said, we see how they play for their clubs and everything. I mean, it's one thing to say, okay, the leadership, they should be focused and, I mean, the permanence. But these are the same guys, really. Like, we don't see them play the way they play there. Do you understand? Boniface, like it's just different. I saw them, I mean, dragging him and everything from this last, I think, international break. But the difference is that's because we have not seen what he has been doing in Leverkusen. He has not been tweeting all those things. We have not seen him put in those performances. Do you understand? I think someone that tried to do that was maybe Lookman. Do you understand? Over the months, he has been trying to just replicate the performances. But I think they still need to. It's a mentality thing, honestly. Just play for this, like everything is on the line too. Look at I think the World Cup qualifier, somewhere below Lesotho or something on the group. It's not acceptable.
It's just a matter of if you finish first.
If you finish first, but the problem with the World Cup qualifiers is, I mean, two of the teams you couldn't beat during the AFCON qualifiers are the teams you're going to face.
Yeah.
It's a good thing because they really are strong teams, but it's still a problem because we couldn't beat them. I mean, we couldn't beat Rwanda. We're playing Rwanda next, honestly, match.
Because we lost to Benin in
we lost to Benin.
Then we beat them and drew them in the AFCON. It just speaks to consistency, lack of consistency. Honestly.
All right, get your calculators out again, and we'll be hoping that we make the World Cup in 2025. We'll be moving on to another man from the international break that's been causing problems in homes. Because I was going back home the other day, and tell me why my neighbor was shouting at his babe, Oluchi, who tell you say Viktor Gyokeres is deformed? That's one man that has been on fire for this season. I tell you, who tell her? Because how she know? Because she called the Gyokores like Gyokores. So, like, a Sporting Lisbon former player came out and said, Gyokores, do not move to Manchester United. I don't know why there's already a pathway for him to, maybe because Amorim has joined Man United. I'm just going to ask you, do you think is that kind of striker that can perform in any system? Or do you think is somebody that would need a lot of hand-holding?
So I think it's somewhere in the middle. He's not an any system kind of player because, I mean, from what I've seen with him, he requires quick balls to him and then a bit of space. To be honest, there is space everywhere. If you, I mean, no matter how much you set yourself up, football is a 90-minute game, so there are some game situations where you would see some space to exploit and all. And Gyokores is someone that thrives on that space. And over the past 18 months or so since he left Coventry, he has proven to be a very, very good finisher. I mean, he's almost performing equal, with his XG or something, and his goals.
He stopped Haaland in Nations League. He stopped Haaland in UCL. Like, bro, you're making a name for yourself. And he had to make a name for myself. And
he had to get against Manchester City. I mean, that was another level raiser. Yeah. So, him not going to Manchester United, I think the advice was more that Manchester United is not a stable, settled team, rather than, him. It was more, don't go to a team that is not quite stable. But I think if he goes there, he would, given the manager that gave him the platform at Sporting as well, if he goes there, he would actually, perform and lift Manchester United to, top 4 levels and all. That's the kind of player he is.
Do you agree? What exact type of striker do you think
first, there are very few strikers that can play without service. So whenever I see people talk about Gyokores, I'll say it needs service. I think everybody needs service. That's first things first. Now, because of the setup, a bit bothered about what he will do if he comes to one of the teams in Premier League. Now, it can work in two ways. Now, you play in a top side in Portugal. It means that more often than not, your team will have 60-70% possession. Now, if you're scoring that many in that side of team against people that would typically play low blocks, I think you'll be fine, right? Because all this local space, I don't think you see that it sees that much space in Portugal in the sense that the average team will sit back against Sporting Lisbon. So I think it will be fine. It has good physical qualities. I don't think he's a god-level athlete, someone like Haaland I don't think he's that good in physical sport. I think he's very, very, very decent on his feet. So I was seeing him play with Sweden in games where they have to
break down opposition.
Not even necessarily break down, sit back and play on the break. Now, it helps that he has someone like Isak with him, so he can like share attention and everybody's not focused on him. Like, say, for example, even though we have been having good runs of late because of Haaland and Slot, so it helps that they can balance it. But I feel like I always say, profiles, system, players, if you're buying somebody, you know the type of player the person is. So you just create a system, you create a setup that gets the best out of the player. If not, all of you, the club will lose, the player will lose, everybody will end up wasting money. So with respect to United, I don't think he can do, but he has a very similar traits to Højlund at an advanced level in the sense that running channels, hold up play, his finishing is very emphatic.
Sorry, Højlund's hold-up play is more of wrestling than...
That's why I said at an advanced level. So you can see what Højlund is trying to do. Gyokores is doing it well. Do you understand? So it's like beta testing, those good. So I feel like I don't think it would do bad. It helps that he has his old manager, but we've seen people come and play under their old managers and play rubbish at United. I can't call anybody's name, I beg. So quality can't lie. Quality can't hide. If you're a good player anywhere, you're a good player everywhere. It's just the platform that can take you to next level.
Brilliantly said. Timmy, I would end it with you on the Gyokores conversation. Which club do you realistically think is going to go to and you'll do well? And I want you to put in fact that don't just call any club here. You need to...
Well, you already know the answer.
Think of a club that you think you will do well in.
No, to be honest, I also think he'll ball for Manchester United. For real. We've seen cases of, managers bringing their own players and things like that. It not working, it working. But I think to be honest, I hardly see strikers. I'm a Chelsea fan. I hardly see strikers fail at Manchester United compared to how I see them at mine. Do you understand? Because, even if it's from recently from them, Zlatan, even Igalo was scoring at some point for you guys. So I think Gyokores would actually have, maybe because I'm not really Højlund's biggest fan, but I think Gyokores would, platform-wise, feeding-wise, he has Bruno Fernandes, he has proper footballers, he has proper wingers.
You called only one person, Bruno Fernandes.
No, I like Rashford. Do you understand? I think Rashford is, like Fedoto said, share of attention, share of threats across board. Do you understand? If he's playing for Manchester United, it's not just him people will be focusing on. Do you understand? Opponents and the likes. You can focus on Bruno, focus on Ahmad, focus on Garnacho, focus on other guys, but I think it will really perform for them. I think.
But with the Mbappe, this is a question to the house. With the Mbappe experiment failing, do you think, because who is not a striker in Europe right now?
So my hot take is that experiment is not. I think my own hot take is that experiment is not failing. It's probably not. It's not failing. Oh, we'll talk about that some other day.
We will. We definitely will.
I don't think it's failing.
Great conversation so far. We've spoken about Nigeria's chances in the World Cup. We've spoken about Viktor Gyokeres. And there's just one more thing to talk about from the international break before we go on a very short break. And Harry Kane came out before the games against Greece and I think it's Ireland. And he comes and he's, I don't like the fact that some players are saying no to come around to play for the game. But look at it. They had over, I think, 4 new goal scorers who probably have not had a chance if the same regulars kept on coming. So, what do you feel as regards? Do you think his comments were far-fetched, or is it every game that he must actually show?
Again, it rolls back to that attachment and where do you actually have your ties? What do you have your ties? A club or country? So, normally for footballers or for people who are patriots, I mean, the feeling is that you're supposed to turn up for your country every time, 247, you turn up for your country. And that was the sentiment that Harry Kane felt that the players that pulled out did not show. Palmer, Saka, Rice. But Kane should realize really that, I mean, we are into the crucial period in the season. I mean, again, someone mentioned 90 games in 45 days. Players are going to play 3 times, I mean, 3 games in a week and all of that. And Kane is in the Bundesliga where they'll have a break or something. He doesn't play at
You
that.
don't pop Patrick again,
I mean, he played. Can you
My
imagine?
mouth is sweet.
Is that hard by That's the correct word.
And to be honest, there is a new coach coming for England as well. And the players knew that this coach that was there was leaving. So, I mean, they were playing the Nations League. They have already they had almost fulfilled the, qualification process for promotion to the. So the players just felt, these 2 games are not really necessary given. So, I think it's somewhere in the middle. You should 9 times out of 10 turn for your country calls you, but there are circumstances really, and I feel like Kane was digging out his mates. I don't think he had to come out in the public to say it. It's somewhere in the middle. That's what I feel.
Also,
Kane is an Agbaya. All the guys that dropped out of the squad, all of them had previous injury concerns. It's not even like the injury concerns were new. Someone like Saka, they were sneaking into training sessions. Someone like Cole Palmer that was limping before the Arsenal. Wasn't sure was going to play the Arsenal game. So you look
Rice
like Rice that had the broken toe against Chelsea. You know that all these players actually have fitness concerns. So they just used a 2-week break to recuperate and put their club. It's not like it's when it was time for World Cup. Even the person that had not played since February, look sure, packed his bag and went to play for England because they value playing for their country and all of that. So for you to come out and out through all those people, see. Kane's problem is that he wants to set that England highest goal scorer record so high. And he needs those guys, he needs top guys.
Honestly,
those guys
look good these 2 games.
Yeah, he needs them to push him forward. So it's like, no Saka, no Pap. What's going to happen?
And he's been
with belly.
Kane. I think he's already ending. He's rounding up his England.
I think
career,
after the
honestly,
World
to be
Cup is
honest.
done.
So
I think after the World Cup is done. It's still playing at a very high level, but he had constant injuries with his ankles. Now, if you've played if you keep on having ankle injuries, especially with his body structure, like the weights that he has, right? You keep on landing on those.
Yeah, I get.
Yeah, you're not able to
play at the high level for England anymore. Did you the Euros?
That Euros was clearly injured. It was clearly injured, and he shouldn't have played. It was clearly injured at the Euros.
all right, Timmy, who were the guys that impressed you from the new cats that came? We saw Curtis Jones, who we're going to talk about later, Morgan Rogers, and a couple of other guys. Who were the guys that impressed you in this new look?
Just like Bamji, Curtis Jones, my boy. Even when he's going against Chelsea, you were whining me because I told you he's the next big thing. To be honest, I think one day will be top 5 Ballon d'Or. Write this down. I write this down. Top
Does
5.
he do this every week?
One day. One day. Morgan Rogers. We almost all of us here have him in FPL. Do you understand? Because it's cheap anyway, but he's been delivering too. You get. I think those are the guys. And there's this other guy, Howard Bellis. Yeah. I think that's Roy Keane's son.
Scored against his father's country. Roy Keane is like nothing
concrete. I just realized today that I actually have the guy in FPL. You understand? Yeah. So I think 3 of them. I was happy for those guys especially because it will have been the regular Cole Palmer, Saka, and all this. But giving these guys a chance for matches that almost it was already done really. If these guys can be beating these people 4-0, 5-0, what to do? Then Papa would have killed those guys. Do you understand? So Rogers, Jones, and that House Bellis guy, proper time.
All right, we thank you very much, Amos. We saw the lineup for the quarterfinals.
Did you say Amos?
We saw the lineup for the quarterfinals for the Nations League. Any favorites?
Well, Spain are always favourites at this point. Spain. It's their time, and they have the best player in the world. Except by the time the quarterfinals rolled up, will Rodri be back?
No,
it's out of the season.
I think it's out for.
But the Nations League until the end of the season.
He might come in for
maybe April.
We'll make it that far. But they still have other very top players, and it's still the same core. Really, look at them in their Nations League games. They still play the same high-level possession football. Look at Raya, for instance, breaking the line from inside his own. Spain are always favourite no matter what. And
Yeah, I think it's mostly Spain. Looking at France from the corner of my eyes, but of recent there's been this friction between Deschamps and Mbappe saying, "Oh, I don't want to play for this. I want to take time off. I want to." That's captain of French national team. Captain of French national team. And all that. So I feel like they have enough quality in their side to deal with whatever tactical shortcomings they have. They have too many good players, so they'll do well. They'll go far. Maybe up until they meet one of the usual suspects. Maybe till they meet Germany or they meet Spain or something. So I don't think something is missing in that German setup. I don't know what it is, but something is missing in that German setup. I don't think Italy is good enough as well. So
Portugal, Ronaldo.
Portugal have a very good team too. Yeah. So they have a very good team too. Now, it will mostly depend on how good their defense can hold up. I think that they have enough from midfield going forward to disturb anybody. But defending and all of that, you see lapses. Most of their boys are equal potentials. There are people that we watch maybe once a month. Yeah. So you don't know what their exact weakness is. You now put them under the spotlight microscope. Everybody now starts saying, oh, this person is not good at this person is not good at this. And it doesn't help that, what's his name, Gyokores has that occasional
lapse.
Yeah. So they have a good chance too. I just feel like the way that Spain team is set up.
I understand why they were acting with a banker. You're such a politician. Bro, tell me which club is going to
No. So that's what I was saying. So the way that Spain team is set up, structured, they lost Rodri in Euros final and they played second half. You would not know that it was missing. So that team is already cut out properly. They have to be clear favorites. It's just that there are a few teams that can.
Timmy, any last takers before we go?
Yeah, for me it will be France.
Of course, as usual, another wrong prediction. Thank you very much, Amos and Osamudiame. Ibola, you're having an amazing debut so far. We'll be right back. Don't touch that channel because when we come back, club football is back, but what are the biggest games? What are the most interesting talking points? And we have a game to show you who has the best football knowledge on the show today. Why you they fear now? Why you they fear? We'll be right back. And welcome back. I've been having fun in the studio with Amos, Osamudiame, and Ayobola. It's been an interesting episode so far. And I know it's not the music lounge, but I mean, Morayo is out and it's everywhere. Like, I'm just going to ask you guys and put you guys on the spot. Rate it over 10, Ayobola. If FC comes and catch you after, your business with that. You know, concern me. You know, concern me. What's your take on this on Biscuit's latest album?
I'll just rate it over 10. 5. That's all.
You talked 4 before. You better you go.
I'm not listening.
We have Whiskey's PA here in the studio with us. What is your own take?
Strong 9 over 10.
So Medi Lagos is what?
Give me that.
Medi Lagos is what?
Is a 10 over 10 now. This is a strong 9. You know what? I'll give you a list of the songs we are listening to before we leave here. Okay. You can't know if they do like this.
What's your take? What's the main song? Your best song from
my best song so far, Apres Minutes with Tiakola. Proper melody.
I thought you liked slow because of the kind of person you are.
I'm a slow guy.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Let's bring it back to football. Before we went on the break, we're talking about England and the new cats that they had in the team. And one person that did well was Curtis Jones. So we're going to use him as a focal point to talk about Liverpool and how well they've done to be at the top of the table. I mean, when Klopp left, we're expecting that they will go into their banter era, but Liverpool have done very well. Mo Salah is looking very reinvigorated. And honestly, Liverpool, even though people don't want to say it, they could win the league. They could, because I'm looking at the other teams. We're seeing City struggling. We know Arsenal will never pass that second line. And Manchester United, falling giants. Chelsea, if you don't give them space, I don't know. Yeah. Let me not say more. But let's talk about Liverpool. But I'll start with you. Let's talk about Liverpool, yeah. And how well has Slot done to, put back Curtis Jones in the team? Because he lost his place some seasons back, and he's looking really good. And how well has Slot just done with Liverpool generally?
Yeah, so I think what Slot has done, he has kept things simple. Liverpool were not bad last season. They were in the title race till April, about 5-6 games before they fell off. So it's not like Klopp had, left a bad squad. And honestly, they still have who I believe is the best defender in the league. Konate is improving steadily. He's still have one of the best goalkeeper in the league.
Konate has been the best defender in the league this year.
And then they have one of the best forwards ever in the Premier League as well. So once you keep things simple and you have that platform, for instance, I mean, you're going to fly. The first 11 games, some may say they have played, I mean, they're able to play very, very, very not performing teams so that they could grow into a rhythm. The next set of games, I think they're playing, after Southampton, they're playing Real Madrid, City, and also over this Christmas period. I mean, I don't like to talk about the title till the Christmas period is done. Honestly, but it's not
You've learned your lesson. That's why, right? Don't say it like it's philosophy.
Don't worry, we'll see after the show. We'll see after the show. But I mean, it's not taken away from what Slot has done. I mean, he has kept things simple. None of the chaos ball, none of the up and down football. It's Brabham, Gravenberg is sitting, McAllister is sitting, and then Curtis Jones has the freedom. Let's say freedom sort of to do what he does with the ball, and then obviously on the counter you have Salah, Diaz, and whether Gakpo or Nunez in front. So I mean, over the next couple of months, we'll see whether it's a false done. I don't think it will be. I think they will still finish in the top 3 no matter what. But I don't think they'll win the league. That's my own prediction.
All right. Big talks for Mayebola. So let's bring. He mentioned Klopp leaving a good squad for Slot, but we've just in the first few games we've seen a difference between how Slot plays and how Klopp plays. Slot has been a bit more controlling, and you can tell that because Trent has not scored a goal this season. I think he has just one assist. Robertson is even worse. Robertson is looking like.
I think it's gone. I think Robertson is gone.
So do you feel there's a little bit more control with Slot's team than Klopp, who enjoyed chaos?
But that's the most, like, the main distinguishing factor between both of them. If you play in a club team, everybody says intensity. Now, what Slot is doing is mostly slowing down the game to suit himself. For example, games are balanced at 0-0. You might still see that element of chaos or whatnot. If Liverpool go in front, it's out of the window. They control the game. They slow everything down because they know that they have real game changers in their squad. So there's no reason to be going back and forth with anybody when you know you're really better than the person. Just control the game. And it's one of the reasons why Curtis Jones was able to break into the team. I think at the beginning of the season, they had Gravenberg, McAllister, and Szoboszlai. But Szoboszlai is one of those players that's in a hurry to play. Yeah, so he wants to play that final pass early. He wants to. So you end up losing the ball quickly, and you have to run back, run forward, run back. And so with Curtis Jones, is a lot more controlled. And like you said, he has stepped up. He has taken his place. He has earned his place. Nobody's even asking for Szoboszlai anymore. And it's one of the reasons why, despite how good Luis Diaz is playing, there's some games they prefer Gakpo, just because of that control of that control measure. So I think he's doing very well. Even Trent kind of like goes more infield than as that bombing, overlapping, fullback and all of that. And it has helped him a lot defensively because now he's really out of position. He can stay back, he can handle his man, in quotes, right? So I think he's doing a very good job. And the most interesting thing about Slot is what you don't see on the pitch in terms of his interviews, his dressing room sessions and all of that. It looks like he's in charge. It sounds very, very controlling.
Authoritative,
and authoritative. Like, if you know that if you mess up, all those, somebody did this, somebody did that, there's probably no way back in the squad. And I saw a video this week when it was Feyenoord, they beat Ajax in the Ajax Stadium, and he kept on telling them that, oh no, celebrate. I think they'll go for international break. And he was begging his players, you know that type of way your parents want to beg you that don't disgrace me. That's why I was telling them that go for international break, but come back fit. Come back fit. Now, I know this is a big win. We have to celebrate, but remember, we still have part of the season to go and all that. And I assume that that's the same way that is authoritative in that dressing room. So it helps. I mean, Klopp was more of a loving figure and all of that. So exactly, this was like your wicked uncle or something like that. So. The first thing is that chaos element is out of the window. That's why Liverpool could be leading 3-1 last season and opponents might still find a way to sneak in. But now Liverpool go 2-0 up against you. I'm sorry.
It's done.
Close the curtains, man.
Done. And this is without Alisson, by the way.
Interesting. Timmy, let me ask you now. Do you think if Arne was slotted into United, do you think he would be doing this all?
So, I think United... they're not like Iwola said earlier. It's not. They don't have a stable. it's not a stable environment.
So that's the answer I want, because I had a follow-up question.
Right.
So it doesn't matter which manager goes to Man United. It will always be like that.
It will start like that. Do you understand?
Okay.
Eventually, you might find a way to curb some challenges or whatever, but it will always start like that.
I wanted to keep it on Slot because
Right.
if doesn't give him a lot of praise. And what do you think about him?
In fact, I think he's not been getting, the type of praises he should be getting, because, people have heard so far, they always still give credit to Klopp that he inherited Klopp's team and it's not going far and beyond. But like Ferguson broke it down, you can see the difference in how he plays. There's a way they control games, they see games out. When they're winning 2-1, you are not coming back. If they score that second, there's some games where they're leading 1-0, then 80-something minutes, Salah just scores, and that's it. That's how they've been doing. And with that kind of game, that's not Klopp. Klopp would have, since if you are going to win 2-0, they would have won it since. Do you understand? So and I think this is time. I think they can win the league. It's just Slot's time, and Anfield is just computer village.
Well said. They play Southampton this weekend. It's first versus last. It's the only 4 occasions where the last has actually beaten the first, and the last time was years ago. So expect a demolition in that game. But we move to City. One of the biggest news that happened this past week in world of football. I'm sure City fans will be madly excited. But what do you feel motivated that decision to keep Pep for 2 extra years, or for him to even agree? Because if he wanted to agree, he could have done that earlier. Why wait till now? Is it because Pep wants to sign out with a bang? People have said, I'm not doing well, even though I'm still second. Do you get so? What do you think was the major motivation for that decision to keep on?
Okay, so I think he even mentioned it that this was supposed to be his last season. So I think he was going to go through with this being his last. But he probably just looked at the situation with the club, the 115 charges, Rodri's injury, few other midfielders getting injured. De Bruyne has been injured half a season, almost every season now or something. Kovacic is out again. He had to bring Gundogan back. So, I talked about Klopp leaving a decent squad. So I think he wants to leave something stable when he's going. And I do not feel... I don't think he felt that him leaving at the end of the season would have been something stable as well. I also think there's the ego thing. He maybe believes that he may not win the league this year and he wants to sign off with the high. The 2 times Pep hasn't won the league in the Premier League were situations where he wasn't in the title race at all. So there's situations where he just maybe gave up at the beginning of it and he just left it. So maybe he wants to end his career, winning the league. That's another... I'm just making theories in my head, I know. I think the first one is the more plausible one.
Do you think him leaving will mean is retiring from?
No, leaving Man City. Leaving Man City.
Realistically, where else can he go?
After City.
National team.
Inter Miami.
National team. National team. I think Pep is prime for a national team.
Yeah.
But we're allowed to give conspiracy theories now. Yeah.
Why not? Right.
I feel like City are clear with
from the charges. No, yeah.
So he was just going to leave. We're making jokes about City to be relegated at the beginning of the season. Bookmakers had it at I think 12. Also thereabouts,
because of the charges.
Yeah, which is because of charges, not because of definitely not because of football and all of that. So maybe people were looking at it that it's a possibility that, but I think in the first 2 months of the season we've seen a lot of technicalities being struck out and all those things. So it looks like there's something more long term there for him. So he can actually commit. So you don't be surprised to see a lot of players now sign extensions, maybe because some of them were being wary about
waiting for him.
But all those things we'll find out. We don't have access to all those type of information, but it's just conspiracy theory.
I personally don't think they're clear. I think there's still something.
Also, why would he sign it 2 years?
Because he wants to. Maybe he wants to prove a point that he's with them.
Why did he do that?
Why did they get relegated?
Why did he do that at the start of the season?
So I just
well, I'm not in Pep's head.
there's this news story. I'll share with you guys after the show. They wrote something about how their lawyers have been able to remove technicalities. It's just that type of the evidence, they dismissed the evidence or something like that. So they have good lawyers anyway.
And Pep has been so confident. Really,
they have good lawyers anyway.
Nothing happening.
Or maybe they finally got a Spectre into the...
Maybe.
Timmy, this is a new low for Pep.
Right.
He's not been in this situation for a very long time. In fact, the last time he's been in it, the last time Bayern Munich lost 4 games, one of those games was the knockout game that he was a draw in this thing in German Cup, but they lost on penalties.
Eventually, yeah.
We've seen Pep come back from a lot of things. Can you come back from this?
Yeah, I mean, if there's any manager I think can come back from something like this, it's Pep. He's always screaming mentality and all these things, and he has been. I mean, we might say he has not lost like this or been at this low before, but he has been under pressure. You understand, a couple of times, and it's not easy taking on some challenges which he has taken. So, I mean, he's still second regardless, right? And he might not, if he's going to win the league, he might not win it with the highest number of points that he has done before, but you still see him winning it convincingly. Do you understand? He's that kind of guy that has the mentality to turn this kind of thing around. They are the ones with the kind of players with proper mentality to turn things around, really. But the only difference now is the amount of injuries they have with key players. Even Haaland is not.
Some people are back.
The point is back.
Yeah, but I think like they're getting old. They're not the same players
That's the thing.
anymore. That's the thing.
And now the
actually.
injuries.
Gundogan, for instance, is not the
because
same
they're
player
getting
anymore.
older.
Some people are
They're
back,
getting old.
and there's the small show of the generic transfer window.
Exactly. I was going
there's
to
that.
ask, do you think they salvage things if they don't get any player?
If they don't get any player, if everybody's back, okay, not
No,
everybody.
everybody
Well,
can't be
to be
back.
honest,
Rodri
yeah,
cannot be back.
like he said, they are just 5 points behind. They haven't played Liverpool at all this season, so it's not like they're out of it.
They still have home and
completely.
away Liverpool.
I mean, so it's still early.
You see it like that's an escape. I'm making worse for them.
I mean, I can also make it worse.
Liverpool can make
Honestly,
5.8 or whatever. Do you
Level,
understand?
yeah.
So
It's not like we're talking about something to salvage, really. Well,
yeah, but it's Pep, it's City.
It's Pep, it's City. And now we've gotten to a point where we've not done this before since the show started. We're going to be playing a very little game now. It's called Player Club. This is just to test the knowledge because
It's not to taste anything.
these two in particular are two of the brightest
Oracles.
trivia men in the world. So we really just want to know and see exactly how much that knowledge is. I'll explain the game. It's a simple game. I'll call a player. Then he's meant to call a club that player has played for. Then the next person is meant to call another player from that club. And the next person is meant to call a club for
Why did
that.
you laugh when you go to my next
Timmy, why are you insecure?
You laughed
Why are
now.
you
We also
insecure? Why are you insecure? All right, so we're going to be doing this until somebody goofs, and once you goof, you're eliminated from the game. We'll just do that quickly. Well, let's do a test run. Should we do a test run or should we go straight into it?
Let's do a test run.
Why do you want to do a test run?
So I can understand properly.
All right, let's do a test run. Yeah. So I'll start by calling Raheem Sterling.
Manchester City.
Kevin De Bruyne.
like that. That's how it goes. Yeah, sorry. Okay, so it was just a test.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine, but that's the test.
Yeah.
So basically, you keep going until somebody goes. Once you go, you're eliminated.
Right.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready? Put your money on anybody? Well, yeah.
The money's on TV.
The money on TV.
100.
All right, I'll start with Eden Hazard,
Lille.
Joe Cole.
Liverpool.
Mohamed Salah,
Fiorentina.
Mika Richards.
Man City.
Sergio Aguero,
Atletico Madrid.
Diego Forlan.
Manchester United.
Wayne Rooney,
Everton.
Duncan Ferguson.
I'll see here.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
QPR.
Check what? Get out here.
Defend on two.
So TV has been eliminated from our player club game. As expected, Vema predicted this. As expected.
These small boys winning.
Guys, they won't club person.
A very wicked person. But yeah, let's keep it going. So Timmy has been eliminated. You can do VR for us now.
Okay.
All right, I start by calling Cristiano Ronaldo.
Manchester United.
Wayne Rooney.
Everton.
Joseph Yobo.
Fenerbahce.
Edin Dzeko.
Wolfsburg.
Graffiti.
Sorry.
Off.
Hold on.
No, not for what?
Hold on. Graffiti, check. Werder Bremen. Check.
It's TV that's checking.
Check. Don't waste your time. Why you dey laugh?
Because you go soon cry.
Am I correct?
Babaji's out.
All right, I've been eliminated. And of course, like we predicted, the last two. Will I start?
Okay. Osimhen,
Napoli.
Kvaratskhelia.
Yeah.
That's what he did for you.
A big congratulations, Bola. Great game, and thank you guys for following us. Let's move to another game where I am king, our FPL fantasy.
Are you still king, though?
Maybe you out of the top 10.
Okay, I'm not.
It's
Please
10.
get your
It's
facts
10.
right.
It's number 10.
Get your facts right.
Number
Have you
10.
ever been in top 10?
Yes.
When?
Game week 1.
When?
I'm there.
But anyways, I'm just gonna ask you guys who you guys captain because I'm very sure there's no time again in terms of the deadline for FPL. Who did you captain and why?
So I mean, the popular pick is Salah, but I've decided to go a little bit left field. By left field, I am captaining Martinelli.
Wow. Wow, that's
That's actually very left
very
field.
risky.
Yeah,
Because
I mean,
we all know our issues with Martinelli this season.
yeah,
And
but
Arsenal's
I
issues with Nottingham Forest. Like, really.
Yeah, well.
I mean, we are home. I think we should win.
Okay.
He scored against Chelsea. Really, I mean, so he was my. Let's say differential the game week that he scored against Chelsea. I sold Saka and got him in.
Do you think Odegaard being around helps him?
Yes, it does.
definitely.
I mean, yes, it does. I saw a graphic. I saw a graphic earlier. I mean, I follow some Arsenal pages, so I saw a graphic where put that Arsenal's build up. 82% of Arsenal's build up this season has come from the two wide areas. There has been no build up down the center, so that has meant so much pressure, especially on Saka and Martinelli, and because Odegaard has been out, and of course there have been the red card issues as well. So now that Odegaard is back, I mean, Merino is beginning to.
Yeah, it looked a lot better
I
against
mean,
Chelsea.
exactly. He passed the ball well, progressed the ball well for us. So now that we have a few players coming back into the middle, it's going to be better for. I mean, look at the goal Martinez scored against Chelsea. If Odegaard wasn't there, he was never going to score. I mean, that kind of goal. Even the chance that he missed in the first half as well. So that's my. It's a wild pick. I mean, I still have a couple of hours to change. If you guys can convince me.
No food.
If you don't know, how about you?
I went with Haaland. City play Spurs. There is no Romero. There's no Van de Ven. I feel like they'll play makeshift centre back pairing, and City absolutely need to win. It's a no-brainer for them. If Haaland is not scoring, City is not scoring. So it's lazy, but it is what it is.
I mean, it has to be lazy because he is actually the lowest among the four of us.
Like 70 something on the
Bro,
log,
78
man.
or something.
And we are like
You have to
60.
open
And we are like 60 on the thing.
You know, you're laughing. I am pity you because it's that chair that puts me in trouble. It's that chair that puts me in trouble.
Simi has actually
It's
improved recently.
Loud it.
You have improved.
Is he in the top
recently.
30?
Is he in top
Yeah,
30?
26.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
in top 30.
Oh, I see. So he's a little bit above.
He's
So
done well.
listen
he's
to
done
me.
well.
So listen to me. I'm captaining Salah. Do you understand? Obviously.
Early game. I mean, Salah.
No,
Leicester is the
Chelsea,
one.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so and even if it was really, he has been the best player I've seen this season. Just like in the Premier League, of course, because of Gyokores. But he has been the best, and everything Liverpool, everything they breathe, how they eat, everything comes through Salah in that team. So I mean, and they're playing Southampton.
First versus last.
Yeah, so
But the flip side of that is that Liverpool don't score more than 3 generally, especially this season. I mean, Salah has been consistent, but he hasn't done more than 2 goals. You've not seen the Palmer 4 goals. You've not seen that from France. Or Haaland is capable of scoring 4, for instance.
so but Haaland is playing Tottenham.
But Tottenham can't defend.
Haaland will score 4 against Tottenham. Do you understand?
Really?
Haaland will score 4 against Tottenham.
I don't score 3 or 4 for Norway on.
He scored 3. He scored 3.
I'll be there then.
All right. I don't know, Timmy. I beg, no jinx me. Just hold your Salah.
So we have Martinelli, Erling Haaland, and Mohamed Salah. I'll be captaining Matheus Cunha.
We didn't even do a drum roll. It's not drum. You're nobody. Why did you put?
You just entered first page. You listen when your God comes.
Yeah,
Okay,
listen.
is that okay?
Carry it, right now.
But is there any differential this season? You are already using a differential as a
Are
captain.
you actually captaining Cunha?
Nah, I'm kidding, man. I'm Mohamed Salah.
So the differentials so far, I think the best differential this season was from week 1 till now, and it's Chris Wood. People that got on that train from the first day, and people that have enjoyed.
That's Bamijako.
When I saw it, it was late, so I just left it.
I mean, on the other side, my differential I enjoyed was Mbeumo. from.
Yeah,
also
Yeah,
I think it's
yeah,
really
yeah.
good.
No, it's not. I think Wissa over the past
Yeah,
2-3
Wissa
weeks.
is more of a-
Over the
Wissa
past 3
was-
weeks,
so-
Wissa has.
I don't think that the guys that take penalties and free kicks.
You don't see them as
I
differentials
don't see
because,
them as differentials.
I mean,
That's
they're regular.
Because a lot of people
a
will
lot of
pick
people
them.
Will pick them.
Yeah. So yeah, with Wissa, yes, and it helped that Tony left at the beginning of the season as well.
Yeah.
So he has a lot more playing time. And all of
Bruno
that.
Fernandes?
But Chris Wood.
I captained Bruno Fernandes last week. and-
You've been enjoying. You've been enjoying.
I've been enjoying
Yeah,
Fernandes
so
for a
Bruno
couple
is
of weeks now.
under 10 0 goals. Van Nistelrooy gets 4 or 5 goals in 4 games or something like that.
So we don't know if you to switch again with Amorim. Go back to 0.
Wait and
We
observe.
hope not, please. I don't have any free transfer left to you.
All right, the FPL League has been very entertaining. We've had different winners. Only a couple of people have won both Player of the Week
God.
or Player of the Month twice. We are privileged to have one of them in the front right now. I mean, it's not easy, but we just keep doing what we do best to get.
Did they win manager of the week? And we are bad out in this.
I'll be the only one to come to the show.
Timmy. Will you ever win manager of the week this season?
I'll win manager of
I
the week.
promise
Will
you.
you ever win manager of
We
the
are
week
bad out
this
in
season?
the studio.
Did I triple captain and win manager of the week?
All right, let's move away from EPL because we'll soon be done. It's been an interesting show so far. Let's talk about Serie A and one of the big games coming up there. We have AC Milan and Juventus. AC Milan has not really been they've been out of sorts, and even Juventus, even though they've been getting by, this game is not the game we used to know it to be. You get the Napoli leading the league over there. There's Inter already. But what do you see coming out from that game?
I mean, this is like 6th against 8th right now in Serie A. So, I mean, it's
Okay, the 6th.
Juventus are 6th. I mean, they're still very good away from home. I don't think they've lost.
No,
away
the
from
point
home.
between first and
Yeah, it's very
sixth
close.
one,
It's
yeah.
actually very,
Wait,
very
Milan 8. So all
Yeah,
those
Milan are
Pulisic-
8.
all those Pulisic goals are not.
No, they're not playing well at the beginning of the season. It's just the past 2-3
In
weeks.
fact,
that-
the manager has been on the brink. It was that winner against Inter Milan that saved this job. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Juventus have been. I mean, what they've done well this season is defend very well. Really, I think they've only they've had 9 or 10 clean sheets already this year.
There was a time they were never
Shying away
confident
from
at all.
home. And I mean that's what they will bring again to this game. Once you don't concede, there's already a platform for you to win.
1
I mean, for at least a point.
What do you think will win
Exactly.
that game?
I think they will win. I think Juventus will win. AC Milan are not.
All right.
not settled.
If I go to Napoli, Roma, still in this area.
I think Napoli will. If Napoli is at home. Last time I spoke about Napoli, I told you Conte 1 game a week, no break, no review mirror. It's going straight ahead. Roma have had problems. They fired their coach. Third manager this season, second manager this season. How many now? Yeah. So they're not in a good place. Conte at home. I think there's only one result here. Napoli 3 points, easy peasy.
All right. We will come back to the Premier League because this game is not necessarily a big game, but it's important for Man United fans all around the world. And Ipswich versus Manchester United is a very tricky game because you'd expect United to win, but Ipswich are just coming off their first away win this season. They've not won at home. First win this season, actually. So they've not won at home too. So
even
how do you see that game going?
Even under Ten Hag, this would have been a win. It would be a win every day of the week for Manchester United. I promise
To me, don't jinx.
I'm serious. I'm serious. Why you not even concede? Stake your rent.
All right, this is not baby some boys. Tama would actually still drop his thoughts later. Just follow him on IG. You can follow us at Home of the Sports Lounge as well. Before we go, there's still the biggest game. I'm sorry, Man City Tottenham. Just
You said I would score 4.
what do you think?
I think it just be like maybe 3-1 for Man City.
City?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean 4-3. 4-3. City don't have a
That's Champions
midfield
League
currently.
classic.
Wow.
Yeah, 4-3.
Okay.
Okay, 4-1.
4-1 for that's the 4 goals.
That's the Ireland 4.
Yeah, I said 4 as well.
Well, if that actually happens, you don't jinx us.
Leave me and my Delulu alone.
Thank you so much, Amos. Thank you so much, Osamo Jame. Ayobola, was great to have you. This was a Sergio Aguero against Swansea debut. He came in the second half and he scored 2 goals.
Yeah.
Amazing performance. Thank you so much. Thank everyone who stayed all throughout the show. Vema, I know you did, and I know you're laughing at me already that I didn't win that game. But it's fine. Ayobola is the king for now. We'll be back next week, and till then, goodbye.